there's a reason why we are here in this world and we want to make an impact. And whatever we are working right now, we are working towards that. We are working towards how can we go to a much bigger number in helping a lot more orphans getting education, right? That's our focus right now. So a lot of our work has been going into that, into achieving that. So that's why I mean, why is like you need to have a bigger mission in life.
That's so
Otherwise, it'll be too boring. Life is too boring, right? I mean, how many deals can I do? Right? It's the same thing over and over again, right? So, but having bigger mission in life will push you to do more difficult deals, more larger deals, to think creatively, right? How can you feed the bigger mission by doing something big?
Welcome to the Real Estate Vibe Show. I'm your host, Vinki Loomba. I'm a real estate investor, and every week I bring an awesome guest on my show to share their real life experiences and their success journey. And today we have one of my good friends, James Kandasamy, as our guest. James owns and controls approximately 4,000 units consisting of 16 large apartment commercial real estate assets valued at over $500 million with B, and 150 million in ground up constructions. James has over 9 years of experience in real estate with more than 7 years in multifamily acquisitions, ground up development, rehab, and asset management. He has won the 2017 Property of the Year Best Rehab Award for the city of San Antonio. Wow, James. And today we'll discuss multifamily acquisitions with James. Welcome, James, to my show. I really appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be on your show and happy to add value to you and the audience.
Thank you so much. So before we get started, I would like to ask you my favorite question. Can you share your background with us and tell us how did you become what you are today?
Oh, so I started as an electrical engineer and did my MBA and later did my CCIM. So started as electrical engineering in the world of job and occupation, right? So I think I resigned from my job almost 5 years ago and started doing this full time on real estate. We started as a single family, buying single family rentals. We bought 13 houses in 2013 to 2015, and then after 13 houses, we moved to multifamily, started with 45 units. And then now we own almost more than 3,000 to 4,000 units right now.
Wow. And you said you have a technical background or engineering background, right?
Yes.
So you were technical program manager. So transitioning from the technical world to the real estate world, what was that journey like?
So for me, it's all about how you get your creative juice flowing, right? In fact, I think real estate got my creative juice flowing more compared to being a project manager or a senior engineering manager. Because a lot of times, if you look at in our work, right, when we are working, I'm sure a lot of your audience are working, right? So a lot of companies, they do the same thing over and over again. So it's a bit hard for companies to do big scale production or sales services by changing their product every year. So a lot of companies don't like to change their products every year. They tweak here and there a bit and then they try to sell a derivative product. So and you handle the same team, same problem every year. So for me, in real estate is a lot more complicated, a lot more moving parts, and as an engineer, it's a lot more fun for me. So when I moved from, I didn't move immediately, right? I had an overlap of 3 to 4 years where I, made a lot more money in real estate. Then I decided to move completely to real estate. But while I was doing my real estate and at the same time doing my engineering background, tech background, I realized that, hey, this is a lot more fun. Plus, you make a lot more money too, right? So, um, it got me going to say that, okay, once I made a lot more money in real estate while working in engineering, I know I'm making a lot more mistakes. Then I took a big, giant leap of faith to go into real estate, and we are happy. I'm happy that I did that transition because I'm having a lot more fun right now, a lot more financial freedom, and there's no boss to answer to.
Wow. So the transition from the corporate world to the entrepreneurship, what was that like? Because when working in the corporate world, you have a totally different mindset. And then moving into entrepreneurship, like like you just said, you are your own boss, and then you're just managing things differently. So what was that like? Or was there any transferable skills that you brought with you?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of transferable skills. And let me be clear, I don't think so everyone can transition from a W-2 job to a full-time business. It's not for everyone. But for me personally, even when I was in a W-2 job, I used to go to departments which has a lot of startup elements to it. It's a lot of chaotic, right? So I like to choose that department which has a lot of problems because I like to go and solve problems. And it's not for everyone, right? Some people like the job security more than chaotic environment, even at the job. For example, in my job as an engineer, I think I work as an engineer for almost 22 years. I think after 10 years, I went for a class where they talk about people motivation, right? And in that class, there was like 50 people in that class and all are engineers, right? So the instructor came first and early morning of the class, he said, okay, what's your motivation to work, to be here, right? Is it safety, job security, or is it, a fun place to work? So, and a few other options. And I can tell you 80% of the people there chose job security. And for me, I was like, oh, that's so, I mean, yeah, of course you need job security, but that's not why I'm here. I want to have fun too, right? I want to do something that I like. So, for the people who want job security, stay and do your W-2 job because that's where your comfort zone is. That's where your risk tolerance is, right? So it's very important about how good you are or how well adapted you are to the risk that you're willing to take that can change your life, right? And I'm one of those, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there too, even though the percentage might be small in the W-2 space, that I'm one of them who are willing to take some risk. I mean, I did a calculated risk. I didn't simply take risk because, we have family and we have kids, that we have to take care of. And I'm a first-time immigrant in this country. I can't simply take risk, So you have to evaluate your family life and see, are you able to take that risk, right? By risking your family and at the same time going into a new domain directly, right? So that's very important for anybody who's in a W-2 job, who's thinking, want to get into this real estate. I mean, as I said, it's not for everybody. So don't think that it's an easy thing to just jump and, you go to a weekend boot camp and start saying that I want to be a real estate investor. It's no such thing. I mean, you have to really evaluate yourself, see whether you are able to take the risk and what's your family situation is, how much risk you're willing to take, and try it out. But, don't get the hype of like, real estate is the la la land and anybody can do this. It's no such thing.
That's true. Small steps. So when you started, did you start as an LP, like a limited partner? You took smaller steps because you did the single family first. Then you slowly moved into multifamily.
Yeah, surprisingly, I didn't even do any LP, right? So I'm a guy who want to be in control, right? So when I did my single family, I bought all the single family myself. And after that, when I go into multifamily, I said, okay, I'm going to go direct as a GP, right? And I didn't do LP stuff at all, which I know it could be a really good step to be an LP because you can learn how the business runs. And LP didn't appeal to me because for me, I like to be in control. And I'm sure if you're a lot of tech person, you like to be in control as well.
That's true.
And you like to ask for a lot of details. And really, if you're an LP and you are investing with a sponsor, I really pity that sponsor because tech people like to ask a lot of questions, and they are the worst passive investors. I'm not joking, guys. That's the truth.
Yeah, I have that experience.
Yeah, I like to ask every single question. So I really pity any sponsor who I want to invest. So I decided not to invest with any sponsor. I said I'm going to do this myself. I mean, not for everyone, but I mean, it's just people who are very technical background like to ask a lot of technical questions.
Did you join any mentorship program?
I did have mentors, two mentors. One is in Texas, and the other one was from Boston. And they basically gave me the 90% of what I know right now, right? So they were the mentors. You need to have mentors in this industry because commercial real estate is a high barrier to entry, and there's so much of nuances, right? I'm sure you see a lot of Facebook posts. This person closed, that person closed, but to get to that closing state, closing line is very difficult. And in a team, the guy who take the whole team together is what I call as the operator, and it's a special, unique skill that the operator have to take that deal to the crossing line. And you have to give them a lot of respect for that.
That's true. So share with me your first deal. You say you came into this wonderful world of real estate as a general partner, GP. So how did you start that journey?
First was the mindset, right? So I was doing single family. I mean, we started with 50,000, so I could not do multifamily because I didn't have enough money in the beginning. Started with 50,000 in my single family, buying like 2 houses, 3 houses, and then we went to 13 houses. We accumulated almost $400,000 of equity, and I refinanced that out, and then started saying that after 11 houses, it was very difficult to get a loan on a houses, right? Because you have a limit 10 houses, and you can do with your partner and all that, but it's just becoming more complicated. So I said, okay, I'm going to do multifamily. I said, okay, next 6 months, I'm going to stop all my single family. I'm going to look for multifamily. So first I set my mind to do that, right? Second is, when I start talking to brokers, nobody gave me any respect because I'm a newbie, right? I don't know what we're talking about. So I said, okay, to break that barrier, I'm going to do what I did in single family, which means go direct to sellers. So I started doing my off-market marketing strategies like text blasting, sending yellow letters, cold calling. I didn't do a lot of cold calling, but I think text blasting and yellow letters is what I did a lot. And in the 6 months, I did get my first 45 units off-market, direct to seller. And that was the breakthrough, right? So how did I do it? By thinking differently from everybody else, right? I cannot be doing the same thing over and over again, expecting to get into this highly crowded multifamily space that everybody want to get in, right? So it's crowded now, and it was crowded even in 2015 when I started. I know a lot of people think that, 5 years ago it was easy to get in. It's not. Even 2015 it was very difficult to get in. The guys who are breaking through right now and who broke through 5-6 years ago or 7 years ago are the guys who did things differently and willing to take risk. At the same time, able to close on that first deal.
So what did you do differently than the rest of the operators?
Yeah. So as I said in the beginning, I use off-market strategies to find deals, like cold texting and not cold calling, yellow letter, sending letters to, yeah. So we did a big campaign to go direct to sellers without any brokers.
So your main purpose was to get your first acquisition. Your focus was acquisitions only at that time. So did you form a team or did you partner with anybody beside your wife? And
no,
you and your wife, you jumped on
I'm one guy who, I don't know whether it's good or bad, but I did the whole thing myself, me and my wife, right? Two of us, right? So we have a good tag team. I mean, she's good in operation. I'm good at raising money and underwriting. And that gives us the team, two of us, right? So Yeah, until up to like 3,000 something units, we have been always doing it ourselves. And then after that, we started doing ground up construction with some partners. But we are open to more partnership nowadays because,
Because you're
um,
scaling, so you need
Mhm.
more team
Mhm.
members in order to scale.
more team members, and we have done very well in our business,
Mhm.
right? We want to guard our time as well, so we want to make sure that we take care of our time. So we are open to partners nowadays.
That's good. So when you did your first acquisition, the 45 units, through this off-market deal, through your mailing or the text messaging that you were doing,
Mhm.
was that a syndicated deal?
Yeah, it was syndicated. Yes, we had four people in my first deal. Is 45 units. We're supposed to raise 430,000. We had 4 to 5 people, and then we made 3x on that money in 4 years.
So how was your first raise like? Let me ask you that, because I would like to learn your capital raising strategies too, since you have scaled so much.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So my first raise was super easy. We raised within 24 hours, right? 400,000. And the way I did it was basically we had this all the single family track record, and then we start talking about it to people. So when we're able to talk to people about how did we do it, our single family, and a lot of people were impressed already. So that's one tactic that you want to use. It's not tactic; it's ways to raise money, right? Ways to establish credibility. You always want to talk about the deals that you have done in the past, and smart people with a lot of money, they're able to see a person and able to identify whether this guy know what he's talking about. Right. And even for me, right, I mean, I can from the way you when someone talk to me, I will know very quickly whether this person knows what they're talking about, right? Because um I mean, as I said, I'm an operator. We do asset management, we do property management. There's certain lingo that people will talk about that we can quickly catch whether this person knows the technical details of the business or not. Same thing with passive investors. Passive investors are really good. They're able to see, whether this person knows what he's talking about, right? I mean, even people with a lot of money, right? There's a reason why they made so much money, right? Because they're able to identify opportunities or able to identify people who are very highly skilled in something, right? So, you have to talk about your deals, even though in single family, um, and people can see the passion behind someone, right? Someone who's passionate, you can see from the way they talk about it, right? You can see. So I was lucky that I was able to talk about my single family deals to other people, and they were able to identify with me. So when my 45 units came, it was quickly able to
Raise the money.
raise the money. Yeah, within I think 48 hours, maybe, because it's only 450,000 at that time, right? So
But now you said you can raise 15 million.
yeah, we raised a lot of money.
What has changed? So if you can tell me that.
Yeah, we raised like not we means like myself, right? Of course with my wife, we raise like 12 million, 15 million pretty commonly nowadays. Of course, now with the economies being as bad as it is, a lot of people are still excited to invest in real estate, but there are also some people who are scared, right? So, what has changed? I mean, first of all, we have really good track record that we have built throughout the years. It's a slow and steady game. We didn't do a lot of deals, even though 3,000-4,000 units sounds a lot, but we did the difficult deals, right? And we're able to communicate that deals to our investors very well, very frequently, very systematically, and we did very well in our deals in the beginning, right? We did like 16 deals. We did very well on all the deals that we have exited. We have exited almost 6 to 7 deals now, and we did a lot of refis very quickly because we buy deals very low in value, very low basis. So in 12 months, 15 months, we refi. So the word gets out, right? Words gets out that we are doing this kind of deal where in 12 months, we're able to refi 100%. So one investor tell two investors, these are
What are the math?
word of mouth, and that's how words get out that they are making crazy amount of money. I mean, first 3 deals we took out 100% in 12 months. right? The third deal we took out in 15 months. I mean, that's like making money out of the air, right? I mean, it's like free money, you're plugging money from from the air, right? So words gets out. And because of that kind of credibility, our investor base grew very quickly, right? An ability to represent information, communication with your investors, when things doesn't go well, how are you recovering, all that become very key. Right. So because of that, our investor base grow. And rich people who have a lot of money, who are not in these meetups, who are not in this Facebook group, who are not in any mentorship clubs, they have a lot of money and they need referral, right? And they trust a friend who has made money, right? So that's how we're able to raise a lot of money, because of a lot of word of mouth.
Oh, through the referrals to the friends and all that. Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now you have done how many acquisitions now? 20 acquisitions?
I think, no, around 16. I mean, maybe 20 if you add all our ground up development, land development deals. That's what we have done, around that amount.
So can you share with me what is the, couple things that stuck out for you that you have learned that works for you every time in every acquisition? Like you were saying earlier, corporate job is so much repetition or repetitive work. But I just feel like in the multifamily, whatever we do day to day, each deal is different. We structure it a little bit differently too. But some of the aspects are so repetitive in each deal, right?
I mean, are you talking about raising money?
Raising money is there, yes. But, the total finding the deal, finding the location, the total acquisition piece of it,
Yeah.
What things that work for you that you would like to share with us?
I think the key thing is you have to be excited about the deal, right? So I look at a lot of deals. I mean, I don't even underwrite a lot of deals, but I look at a lot of deals. And whenever someone brings me a deal, I always ask, why me? Right? So because the broker can go to anyone else, right? So there's a reason why they bring a deal to me, to our company, and why is that, right? And also I have to be really genuinely excited about the deal, right? Need to have really good upside. Need to be able to match with what our skill is in turning around properties, right? So when we have all that, people can see through you when you are presenting to them. They can see the passion behind you when you're presenting it to during a webinar, right? So and why we're excited about it, why do we like the deal, you have to really represent it very well. And the only way to represent a deal very well is when you are passionate about it, right? So yeah, after 3-4 deals, I mean, in our life, I mean, in our career, maybe 3-4, maybe 4 deals, 5 deals, we really don't have to do any more deals, right? Because the amount of money that we see is a lot of money compared to what we had before. So I didn't really rush into doing deals. You can see operators nowadays, they keep on doing deals every month. They keep on doing deals. I mean, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just become another normal guy who's doing deal, right? Because if the deals are so easily available, out there, everybody can do it, right? But so we don't do a lot of deals. We do like maybe 1 year, maybe 1 deal or 2 deals maximum, right? In the beginning, we did quite a number, but after that, I'd slowed down just because I need to be really comfortable with the market. I need to be comfortable with the deal. So every deal we bring is very special, right? So special, close to our heart. We are very passionate about it. We really work hard on doing the deal. So I would say what is special about it, what's repetitive in multifamily deal offering is how passionate you are, right? So when you're passionate, it wouldn't be repetitive. You can sell the story to your investors very effectively, right? So and every deal that that we do, it's very unique, and we know it's a very huge upside kind of deal. So that are the deals I think people can see through when you're presenting it. And I think that are some of the good characteristics when we present the deals.
That's true. And plus, when you're doing something that you love, it doesn't feel like work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not whether it's repetitive or no, it's regardless of that, because you love something, you're passionate about it. And you have to share that knowledge and wealth with others, because it's just that feeling that I figured out something or I figured out life. Let me go ahead and share with everybody. If I can do that, I can do that too. So kind of trying to make a difference, because
Absolutely.
the way I look at it too, because once we are, above the survival mode, or we have earned enough, whatever we need, and the daily needs are met, the question always comes, what next? And I think that's what you're talking about, like sharing your knowledge with others and then help them create their generational legacy, whatever they wanted to do.
Correct.
Which is awesome. But I'm just going to ask you this question again.
Sure, go ahead.
This is pretty amazing, being a techie and then moving into real estate and just, building this whole empire. For you, was that, what is the secret sauce behind it, Because this is like a complete success trajectory. And then you're so contented at this point too, like you say, I'm not running after deals, I'm not running after money. Because you rather have the deals chase you or the money chase you, the position that you're in, the way I'm hearing you. So how did you achieve that balance in your life? You feel like I'm at a
So I mean, as I said, we were like done with our life maybe 2 years ago, right? We would have just retire and not do anything. The reason why I have an office here and why we bought an office, right? So to scale, right? And the reason why we want to scale is we have a bigger mission in our life, right? So money is just a tool to get you to that bigger mission. So we have a 501c3 called a Chief Cares, where we educate kids in third world country. And we have like almost 400 kids right now, and we want to grow that to a much, much bigger space. And with that goal, we said, hey, we can't be sitting at home and, not use our skill, right? For me, it's like you are born in this world with a certain skill, right? And how do you use your skill? How do you use your gift to impact other people's life is very important than you just, having a lavish life, right? I mean, I was never raised in a very rich family, so I don't have that taste on how does rich family lives. So I'm it's very hard for me to taste that back, right? I'm not going to say I need a Ferrari or I need a big house because I never really tasted it, right? So, but I know that there's a reason why we are here in this world and we want to make an impact. And whatever we are working right now, we are working towards that. We are working towards how can we go to a much bigger number in helping a lot more orphans getting education, right? That's our focus right now. So a lot of our work has been going into that, into achieving that. So that's why, I mean, why is like you need to have a bigger mission in life.
That's so
otherwise it'll be too boring. Life is too boring, right? I mean, how many deals can I do? Right? It's the same thing over and over again, right? So, but having bigger mission in life will push you to do more difficult deals, more larger deals, to think creatively, right? How can you feed the bigger mission by doing something big?
Wow. I seriously love that, because like I say all the time, when your purpose is bigger than money or profit, it's all profit. And that's what you're trying to achieve. And then you are techie, you're creative, you are problem solver, because you're not looking at a problem as a problem, but you're like at the problem solving and, how do I bring the resolution on the table? So which is all these like awesome skills that you own. But beside all this, we are coming to the time now. So I'm going to ask you if you can share one more golden nugget with my audience.
Sure. Do I come up with my own golden nugget,
yes.
Or you're going to ask me something?
No, you share the golden nugget with my audience.
I think the one golden nugget is basically whether you want to be a passive investor or whether you want to be part of GP, right? I'm sure a lot of your audience, after seeing, the success that you had, I have, or a lot of people around them, there's too much noise saying that, wow, doing these deals is a big thing, right? So, golden nugget is, but as I said, it's not for everyone, right? If you're a passive investor or if you're a GP, you really want to evaluate your risk tolerance to, problems, right? And if you're not not much risk tolerance, I mean, just be a passive investor. There's nothing wrong about, doing a W-2 job. There's nothing wrong. A lot of people love their job, right? But if you think that you're able to take some risk in your job, if you look at your job, you enjoy certain part of your job more, like especially solving problems, solving challenges. It excites you more. Maybe that's a good trade for becoming a GP, right? So you really have to analyze yourself to see whether you want to be a passive investor or you want to be a GP, right? Some people are happy that they should stay as passive.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be a GP.
That's so true. And a lot of GPs, they are aspiring LPs too, because when you ask them, they say, okay, at one point, I just wanted to invest as a limited partner because I don't want it to do any active role. I just wanted to enjoy my wealth. I wanted to enjoy my life because I want my money to work for me. And you're taking most of the deals, you're taking 70% of the chunk, being a limited partner as well.
Oh, yeah. Passive investors are the richest people in the world.
Exactly. I think that's
because
really good.
They make money without doing any work.
That's so true. That's a really good advice. I like that. So this brings us to a rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. So you're going to answer in 1 word or 1 sentence only.
Sure.
Are you ready?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead.
All right. So what is one of the best skills that you have learned over the years that work for you all the time?
Decision making is never 100%. It's only 70% of the information. So if you have 70% information, that's the time you want to make decision. Do not wait to decide when you want to get 100%.
That's true. Then you're going to miss the opportunity. That's a good one.
Yeah. Or you'll never make a decision.
That's true.
Because you can never get 100% of the information. And information with 100% may not be the best opportunity, right?
That's true.
The best opportunity is always 70%, 70%, right? Because not many people knows or not many people are willing to take that opportunity. So
yeah, because there's a gap and then you're looking to mitigate that gap and then you're coming up with something new to solve that problem. That's going to put you a few steps ahead of everybody else.
Correct.
I love that. Thank you so much. What is the best book that you have read or recommend to my audience?
Oh, except my book, I guess, right? So best book, I would say Magic of Thinking Big. That's my first motivation book. Not many people knows about that book. It's a book by David Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really good book. It's really a very simple read, and it changes. It gives you very practical tips on how to change your mindset.
That's true. What is your biggest passion?
Biggest passion is solving problems, right? And how do you thrive in a difficult situation?
Right. And in 1 word, what does life mean to you?
Giving back to others.
Great. If you got a chance to change something in your life right now, or maybe going back into your life, what would that be and why?
So making money out of money, right? So that is what I would look for right now. How do you, with all the money that we have, right? How do you make more money and saving your time?
Great. So answer is right here, LP, right? Just kidding.
Well, I'm actually writing my 3rd book, which is called Breakout.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be talking a lot about how do you break out from the normal, the pack, right? Being an LP absolutely is one, but also, owning your own asset is another one. So I'm like right now we have like 167 units on our own, and we are buying a lot more things on our own too. That's where you create your generational wealth.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. I really enjoyed our conversation, James. So tell my audience how they can reach out to you.
Sure. My website is achieveinvestmentgroup.com. Go to my website, and my email is james@achieveinvestmentgroup, ACHIEVE, Achieve Investment Group. And if you want to get my book for free, my book is called Passive Investing in Commercial Real Estate. If you go to, if you can buy the same book on Amazon for $20, or you can go to my website. The website's called passiveinvestinginrealestate.com. You can get the book for free. I mean, just pay shipping of $4, $4.95 or something like that. You get the same physical book that you get from Amazon for $20. The website's passiveinvestinginrealestate.com.
Thanks, James. I really had fun with you today.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, very, very insightful conversation. You got me to think a lot during this podcast, and I like that kind of podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.